You're watching ABC News Breakfast. A house fire in Sydney's West overnight has raised new concerns about the federal government's troubled home insulation scheme. Investigators will today try to determine whether faulty insulation was behind the blaze.
The government may have announced its plan to fix the program, but the electrical industry has already questioned its effectiveness. Emma Griffiths reports from Canberra.
These days, insulation is an immediate suspect in a roof fire. It's believed new insulation had just been installed in this Western Sydney home. Its roof went up in flames and collapsed. 2 firemen were slightly injured. It's too early for investigators to determine the cause. But on the broader disaster engulfing the insulation scheme, the Treasurer has determined the cost of repair.
It will certainly be quite expensive. There's no doubt about that.
Wayne Swans admitted other programs may suffer.
We'll have to make our budget fit these costings. It may well be the case that we will have to make adjustments elsewhere in the budget because of these adjustments.
Electricians estimate the cost will hit $90 million. That's to pay for either ripping out the foil insulation or installing a safety switch. And one day after the fix was announced, industry experts say the safety switch option isn't all that safe.
They're a supplementary means of protection. They're not a primary means of protection. And I have concerns that relying on them will leave gaps, safety gaps, where people could be hurt.
The Leader of the Opposition.
The Opposition's picked a weakness.
How can the public have any confidence that the government can fix the massive public policy failure of its home insulation program?
The questions elicited a prime ministerial stumble.
The Department of Environment, Water and the Heritage and Arts spent 5 months designing the final policy implementation.
Kevin Rudd also revealed he'd received a letter last August from the Environment Minister, Peter Garrett, officially advising that tougher measures were needed to control the insulation scheme.
Did he warn in that letter of fire, fraud or safety issues? And isn't this why the Prime Minister won't sack Minister Garrett? Because the buck stops with the Prime Minister.
These obviously are associated with the Cabinet process and we're appropriately protected.
The Opposition is trying to pin some of the responsibility for the insulation scheme's dangerous flaws on Kevin Rudd. But it's the apparent flaws in Tony Abbott's paid parental leave scheme that the government wants to talk about. The opposition leader wants big business to fund it. The government says that will lead to higher prices for consumers, and one Liberal backbencher agrees.
Any impost with any company ultimately will flow through to consumers. That is a fact.
They've let the cat out of the bag again, and what a dirty, smelly animal it is.
The legislation to bring in the government's plan is yet to be introduced to Parliament. Tony Abbott's indicated the opposition may not try to block it.
I am not in the business of frustrating even small steps forward for Australian women and Australian families.
But he will frustrate the government.
This is the foil that works, unlike the foil that the government is.
By trying to amend it.